Hello. Right, so tonight we're playing Golden Sky Stories, which is a Japanese tabletop RPG that has been translated into English. It's by Starline Publishing and was first released in English in 2013, I think. You can still get copies of it. There's PDFs on DriveThru if you're interested. And it's a kind of cutesy, Ghibli-esque sort of childhood adventure sort of thing. So not the kind of thing we normally play on this channel, and I am sure the players are going to screw it up in some way. It is also diceless, so we're really ticking the boxes of things that lots of people don't like tonight. Your character is defined by several statistics. So you have Henge, which is your magical powers, that sort of thing. Your animal, which is your animalistic nature, because you're part animal. So if you were a cat, you might test that for your cat-like sense of smell, or to hunt a mouse or stuff like that. Your adult, which is more your human side. If you have to compete against a human directly in some way rather than using one of your powers or being sneaky or whatever else, that's what you'll test on. And then child, which is things that children are good at. It's all very vague, but you get the idea. Anyway, those all have a set number to them. And when you want to do something, you compare your number to the difficulty. Difficulties typically run from 1 to 9. If you're better than or equal to the difficulty number, you succeed. If you're not, you fail. You also have pools of points, which are called feelings and wonder. One of those you get from your feelings towards other people. Another one you get from people's feelings towards you. That gives you a set of points that you can spend on a one-for-one basis to bump up your abilities. At least for feelings, you can. Wonder is used to activate your magical powers. So each Henge type has a whole suite of different powers. For example, if you're a raccoon dog or tanuki, for 2 points, you can turn a handful of leaves, acorns, and so on into illusory money. So if you needed to buy something from a human shop, you could grab a handful of leaves, work your magic, turn it into coins, buy what you need, and next sunrise it turns back into leaves and twigs in their shop. And different Henge have different powers. You also have a weakness, which is something you can't typically avoid. So sticking with the raccoon dog, the tanuki, one of their weaknesses is glutton. So you cannot resist food under normal circumstances, and you have to clean your plate and eat everything that's in front of you if you can. But your weaknesses give you access to an extra customized power. The only other thing we really need to cover is dreams. So every scene, if someone role plays particularly well or does something really cool or funny or whatever, each player can choose to give them a point of dream. And dreams are what you use to intensify or create your bonds, your feelings with other people who are around. That could be other players, it could be NPCs, whatever. But as you do that and as you forge those connections, the more time you spend around those people, the more points you get that make you more competent and able to do things. So it's very much a story game. Right, let's bring everybody in. Hello all.
Hello.
Just check my messages. Let's see if we've got any last minute players. Doesn't look like it. All right.
Oh, I've had to link Witch King's stream, not yours, Grim, because he actually posted the link.
Okay.
So you might see viewers from his stream.
All right, fair enough. I should probably reshare the screen while I'm thinking about it. got distracted trying to find more players.
I swear I didn't know you didn't post the stream. Sorry.
Hey, at least somebody shared it.
Yes. All right. Let me just share that quick then. Do you want to introduce your characters to each other and figure out how you feel about each other from your sheet while I sort this out?
Okay. I am playing Hina the Kitsune. So no raccoon dog in this group, but Miku, you're pretty much my character's big sister, but I take care of you. And we don't have the male cat on the list of.
Yes, that's because he's been away and he's only recently returned. So he has connections to various NPCs instead of the rest of the group.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering.
So Miku and me are siblings in a sense.
That's why we look like each other.
Yes, because I'm a fox and you're a cat.
Yeah.
Of course, my
Well,
character
Foxy-
looks like an 8-year-old girl in a red kimono with red-brown hair, so that's not really accurate to the picture. But that's in her human form. In her fox form, she looks like a red-brown fox.
So I'm Miku, and according to the translation from Japanese, I'm a pretty girl in a school uniform, age 12, which is problematic.
It's all right. You're actually 300.
Okay, cool. And that makes it okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so I respect Hina's independent wildness. And I have absolutely no clue who Guribo is, so I have no feelings towards them whatsoever.
Yep. So that's a good opportunity to create some when you get some points to do so.
Yeah.
And I am playing Guru. Oh,
Go on.
the person nobody seems to know, and I don't know any of them. And I'm a cat as well. And looks like a bit of a troublemaker. And yeah, I don't know anybody. So
Yeah. So you're more of a sort of alley cat, less of a wild cat. So yeah, a bit of a scrapper and a troublemaker and all of that kind of thing.
Garibo is probably living in Tokyo for a little while and then just came back to the countryside.
All right.
I did a
So
few weeks worth of work in a cat hotel.
yeah, they never paid you, so you quit. Okay, so other than Garibo, who's only been back a while, in mostly spending his time in town and in amongst the humans, working his way up to coming back out to the countryside. But the rest of you live on the outskirts of Hitasuna town. So it's a small to mid-size sort of countryside town. It's got a relatively built-up center. You know, there's a little medical center. There's a temple. It has a train station, a school, obviously. A river and a railway tracks run through it. And it's got a nicely manicured park. Outside the center, there's a few farms. There's also a lot of abandoned buildings and houses because Japan's population is declining slowly, and while things are a bit better in Hitasuna than they are in a lot of other places, even so, there's a lot of abandoned buildings, rundown buildings, things like that around the outside. Occasionally, people come out and try to keep them, nice looking, or stop them completely collapsing. But it does mean there's a lot of places for the spirits and so on that live around the town to hide. Anyway, the town's annual Harmony Festival is approaching, and that's a time when the people engage in all kinds of sort of folk traditions and so on that keeps the humans and the Henge spirits, such as yourselves, in relative harmony and unity, even though most of them never see you, never even know that you're there. It's a nice thing that keeps you all together. However, there has been gossip amongst the various spirits and local gods that things are a bit off this year. It's only a couple of days to the festival, and none of the decorations are up. Hardly any of the usual sort of stuff that the humans get up to celebrate you. None of the offerings, the lanterns, the decorations, none of that stuff has gone up as of yet, and so that's caused a little bit of a stir amongst the other Henge. So, with 2 days to go before the festival, little animal spirits come and find each of you, including Goribo, and inform you that Eiko, the wise fox, wants you to come and see her in her den. She's kind of an elder spirit in the local area, a bit of a kind of trickster goddess that walks the paths and leaves trails to either lead people astray or lead them to where they need to be. But it seems that she's taken charge of dealing with this crisis. So little songbirds have come to each of you and told you to come visit her. So, where are you when this message reaches you, and how are you making your way out to Eiko's den?
I am, let's see, I'm probably hanging out at the Fox Shrine, trying to get all the food that people give me.
Mm-hmm. Well, the offerings are pretty thin on the ground lately. All you've managed to have today is an applesauce bar that someone just left, and you're not sure whether that was an offering or whether they just forgot it while they were hiking.
So I eat it regardless because that's what I have to eat from the shrine. That's where I live. And I'm like, I wish there was more I could do. I just wish there was some more food for us. And then suddenly the spirit comes in and tells me.
Yes, so the little bird spirit flutters down, lands on top of your head, and pecks you on the bonce a couple of times.
What is it?
Eiko wants to see you. She wants to address this terrible crisis that looms when the Harmony Festival isn't coming.
Okay, hold on, I'll be right there. And so I start rushing over to Eiko.
Okay. I don't think you have any kind of emotional link with anything here, so you don't get any points yet. Moving on. Simon, Miku?
Well, I'm in cat form, being a cat, scent marking things. This is mine. This is mine. That's mine.
This is mine. This is mine. Not that. You can have that.
I'm gonna go see if I can find some fishies.
Okay, so you pad your way down to the river, and look at the little sort of small fry that are swimming around in there because it's spring. You're about to pounce when a little bird flies down and lands in front of you.
Can I eat the bird?
You can. You pounce and grab the bird, and it goes, "Hey, wait! Got a message."
Oh, okay. What's the message?
Well, take your paws off me first.
I'll take one paw off of it. I'm quite hungry.
You're gonna eat me if I tell you.
Yes.
So, can you let me go first? Then I'll give you the message. Then I won't get eaten.
Fine. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'd like to hear some gossip from you. What's new?
Okay. It flutters up, sort of just out of reach on a branch overlooking you. It calms itself, preening at its feathers. Aiko, the wise fox, wishes to see you to deal with this terrible crisis. And the Harmony Festival doesn't seem to be going ahead.
Do we know why?
No, I think that's why she wants to get some of us together to find out.
Out of character, have I heard any gossip about it at all? Apparently, I love gossip.
You do love gossip.
It doesn't necessarily have to be true. Like,
no. Okay. Let's make a test to see how the system works. All right. So hearing gossip from the humans, I think that's going to be an adult test. So what is your adult score?
it's 2.
Okay, just a second. You don't have any points at the moment, so just let me check the cheat sheet. Okay, it would be normal to challenging to have heard and paid attention to any particularly juicy human boring gossip. So no, you haven't heard anything. In fact, it's weird that you haven't heard anything. Normally there would be gossip. You know, children and people would be talking about the festival, looking forward to it, that sort of thing. But you haven't heard a thing.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll get there once I found some food.
Yeah. What's your animal score?
2.
Okay. You managed to catch a couple of tiny little bony fish and crunch them down. It's not much for me.
More chase the bird up the tree.
Okay, well, it easily outpaces you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can catch a couple of fish and then make your way off. Okay, and then Goribo. Where is Goribo?
I've been behind the alleys, behind the kitchens of some of the local restaurants, like in my cat form, big black furry cat with like a little gray patch under his chin, and kind of trying to purr and con some food from the cooks when they're taking their breaks.
Okay, you're kind of a scraggly, clearly sort of wild tomcat. So not everyone is hugely happy to see you necessarily, but people like cats, and so yeah, you're able to find or be given plenty of scraps. So yeah, builds up your fat a bit from your trip from the big city back to the town. While you're snacking on some day-old sushi in the back of an alley, a little bird, maybe a sparrow perhaps, flutters down and lands close to you, but not close enough you can immediately leap and strike it. In fact, it seems a little bit discombobulated. Warily, it calls out to you. Hello?
Hello.
You're not going to try and eat me, are you?
No, I've got sushi. I'm good.
Okay, good. It's just the last person I talked to was a bit, troublesome. Anyway, welcome back. I hope you had a good time on your travels. Aiko, the wise fox who lives in the woods, wishes to see you to talk about the Harmony Festival, or the lack of a Harmony Festival.
Okay.
Would you like to talk about it? Would you like to talk about it?
I've got a connection with her. She's one of my mothers. She's a motherly figure. So I will jump right up and tell the bird I'm on my way right now. I'll be there as quick as I can.
All right. So each of you individually make your way. The sun sets, the moon rises, and it's night. So you've got tonight, tomorrow night, and then the festival is meant to be the next night. But you make your ways individually to Ako's den. So Ako's den is a little earthen sort of dray dug out between two old trees deep in the forest, covered and curtained with moss. Fireflies bob around outside of it. As luck would have it, you arrive at pretty much the same time. So we now need to consider your wonder and feelings. So on your sheets, you should see just before your portrait, you've got wonder, feelings, and dreams given there. Yeah. And on your scrap paper or in your notepad, that's where you want to keep track of these because they go up and down a lot. No, not everyone is cats. You can play cats, birds, rabbits, raccoon dogs. I'm missing something. Yeah, there's other animals.
Birds, dogs, foxes.
Yeah, and there's a supplement with a couple of extra animals in it as well.
You can also play.
But anyway. So your wonder points goes up equal to your connections with the others who are present. So Miku and Hina both have connections to each other, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's 2 rating each. So you both gain both 2 wonder and 2 feelings because you've got connections to each other.
Okay.
Right. And Garibo gets 2 in each as well because he's got a link to Ako. All right. And because no one else was present at the time, I'm going to give Simon a point of dreams for his interaction with the bird, which I thought was fun. I don't think there's any otters as standard, but they seem like an obvious thing to add. Otters are great. Okay, so you all turn up at roughly the same time. Your hearts swelling as you see your familiar friends and the less familiar Garibo. The curtain of moss between the trees stands before you with Ako's nest inside.
I assume I'm familiar with the place, so I would lead it.
Okay.
Go right to wherever Eco is at.
Yep,
yeah.
Same.
Okay. So you two have probably heard of Garibo, the cat that left for the city, but he seems to have returned, the conquering hero, perhaps. I'm assuming you're all in your animal forms at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So with Garibo taking the lead, you enter into the dray. Some of the fireflies follow you, 1 each, bobbing along above your head to light the way. The ground is softly carpeted with more moss and dried leaves, and it opens out into more of a sort of cave inside. There's a few old stone markers in here, equally capped with moss, and nestled in the middle of the little earthen cave, lit by the fireflies, is a foxwoman in her half-human form. She wears a white kimono, miraculously unstained from all the dirt and earth around here, has very tall, pointed red ears, long red hair, and several tails sticking up behind her. She rests on a sort of couch of soft leaves and dry grass. She smiles when she sees Garibo. Back from the city. I had heard whispers that you'd returned. And Hina and Miku, good to see you all.
How's it going?
Can I turn to my half-human form to hug her?
Yep. So let's see. Shape-shifting. Okay, you can spend feelings or wonder or both to take on human form. Cost varies depending on time of day, form, and how human you want to look. So it's evening, so it's a cost of 0. Ears and tail, 0. Okay, so it doesn't cost you anything.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah. So you
form, and I smile at Iko and move forward to hug her and say it's good to be back.
She holds you close, cuddles you up tight, sort of straightens your hair as best she can with her hands, and goes and wipes some of the mud off your cheek.
Oh no, we can't have another cat having all the attention. I'm still a cat. I'm going to go and purr and rub myself against her. Attention. I'm not going to use the kitty power that
you're not going to use the power. Okay.
No, I just want to demand some attention like a cat.
Okay. Well, as everyone knows, foxes are cat software running on dog hardware. So yes, she succumbs and scritches you behind the ears.
Although
now
I'm the fox, Simon is playing the cat. Just in case that wasn't clear, because I thought you were talking to Simon.
I was talking to Simon. That was Aiko being nice to her, but she's a fox as well. So
I thought. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Aiko is the fox. Right. So anyway, she points in front of her and asks you all to settle down. As you know, the annual Harmony Festival is approaching, where humans and Henge come together to celebrate their unity and cooperation. We used to walk far more amongst them and they amongst us. We've been split apart in more modern times. But this year, something strange is happening. They're not getting ready for the festival. The lights aren't up, the decorations aren't up, the offerings haven't come in. It's worrying. It's concerning. We don't want to be split even further from the humans. We need to find a way to still live together and keep our connections to each other, even if it's just nonsense to them. We want them to keep the nonsense going. So I need you three to investigate, find out what's going on. If they've forgotten the festival, if they can be reminded to complete the festival. So I want you to head down to town, find out what you can, and try and get things moving again.
Okay.
I have a plan.
You do?
Yeah, we just need to go and stand in front of them and mow at them until they feed us.
Well, that won't quite be the same as the festival, will it, Miku?
But
I don't know. That sounds a lot like a festival to me.
From a certain point of view. Sorry, go on.
Iko, do you know who normally is in charge of the festival? Has it changed hands, or
it's been passed down from one generation to another? But all those humans look the same to me.
Okay. Well, I would think that our first order of business would be to find out who's in charge of the festival amongst the humans, and see if the problem starts from there.
Yeah,
So,
let's do that.
of us all, I think you're the ones that stand the best chance of finding out.
Well,
Okay.
it's nice to hear the vote of confidence, but I don't know if we're just going to be getting food from everyone if the festival goes on any longer. Anyways,
Well, off you go then.
Okay. I guess I'll turn back into a cat.
Yeah. There's a little flash of light, and you immediately turn back into a cat.
Okay.
All right. So that scene ends. Now, between scenes, you can ask me if you want another side scene or anything that you want done. Otherwise, we'll be moving on. So the next scene, I guess, will be you planning somewhere in a clearing in the woods, figuring out exactly what your plan of attack is going to be. So unless anyone wants to insert a scene between talking to Eiko and planning.
I go to visit the old man who tends the fox shrine.
That would probably work best on the way.
Okay, we'll do that then.
Okay. All right. So new scene, planning. Miku and Hina can get their 2 points of wonder and feelings. So added on to what you already have.
Okay.
But Garibo doesn't yet have any connections with any of you there. So
I can hand out 1 dream per scene if somebody does something you call helpful or healing.
yes.
I don't know if that would apply to anything that players have done. But that's probably
I
not.
wouldn't say so. And it's a bit of a weakness of the system that people could just hand out points willy-nilly. But I think if we try and keep it a bit more strict, that'll work better.
All
right.
See, I got.
Can you give one to what?
Can I give
you
one
do
to
get
the
scripture.
NPC that gave me scriptures?
No. The NPCs don't get them.
Okay.
All right. So next scene, you walk through the forest a short distance away from Eiko's home. Find a nice spot with some fallen down mossy logs that you can sit on. Several of the fireflies have flown along with you and hover overhead, giving everything a slight greenish light. So, what's your plan?
I still say we go and mow at them. maybe not you, looking at Hina, but me and who are you?
Garibo.
I've never seen you before, Garibo.
Well, I've spent some time away from the village lately in the human lands, in the bigger cities. And I still believe that, my understanding of the humans is that they usually assign people to oversee these things, these festivals and things. They've got leaders. So my feeling is that we should start at the top and try to figure out who's in control of the festival. And maybe we can glean some sort of, information from that. I mean, maybe it's someone that doesn't believe in us, or maybe someone maybe someone that doesn't like us and is sabotaging the festival. I mean, who knows?
I like your thinking. So we go to the most important human who probably has the food, and we mow at them.
Yes.
But who would the most important human be?
Well, I guess we'll have to. I go to town. I don't know if I.
I mean, you could ask the Shinto priest of who helps me. He knows what I am. He knows about us.
Could I use from the shadows to declare that I've seen who the most important looking human is?
Let me just double check what that does.
you can be anywhere and see anything. So, and if something's happened before, as long as I existed at the time, I was there and saw it.
Yeah. Do you have 6 points of wonder?
Oh, has it got to be wonder? No, I've got 4.
Yeah, so not got enough for that yet. But yeah, you would have been able to use that for that. However, if someone wants to make an adult check, difficulty 4, they can figure out who the most important human is.
I have 0 in adult.
Yeah, mine is 2.
I've got 3.
So it costs you 1 point of feelings to figure out who the most important human is. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
All right. So you concentrate for a moment, and then it comes to you. Humans have this thing called a mayor. That's like their big boss. You have lots of different sort of local gods and elder henge who act as your leaders, but the humans have one leader. So they should be at the town hall, and you know where that is. It's just opposite one of the temples.
Is it opposite the temple that I go to?
No, this is one of the town temples.
Okay.
The town has 2 temples: the Amao Temple and the Hitasuna Nushi Shrine. So it's opposite the Amao Temple.
Okay. Would I know where that is in the town?
Yeah, you've all been to the town, from time to time, either in your animal or human forms. So you kind of vaguely know your way around, but you and Miku don't necessarily know all the ins and outs of human organization. But Garibo figured it out. So
Okay. Yeah, can we ask a turtle?
you have to head down to the river to do that. Right. So are you decided on going and finding and harassing the mayor?
I think if we talk to the mayor's children, we can get them to talk to their parents and get them excited for the festival, and then we can get the festival happening again.
Yeah, children are good for getting scritches from.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So moving on to the next scene, which will be you guys traveling down to the town. Do you want to insert that scene with Hina at the temple?
Yes.
Okay. You don't actually have any connection to the priest or the temple. But I will give you 1 point of wonder for stopping by the temple.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. This is just a little. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, can I give Garibo dreams for knowing stuff?
Yes, it's probably the most useful contributor. So yeah, Garibo can have a point of dreams.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So yeah, all 3 of you start making your way down the hikers' paths down towards the town. Hina says she'll meet up with you again a bit later on, and scampers off down one of the animal paths down to one of the little way shrines. There's several dotted fox shrines throughout the woods. But, yeah. So just a scene with Hina, so you don't get any wonder or feelings except the one wonder that I gave you for visiting the shrine.
Okay.
So you come bombing down out of the forest. Little way shrine. There's a hut where hikers can seek shelter. The old half-blind priest is there, sweeping leaves, or the last of last autumn's leaves off the path, and cleaning off the shrine stone as best he can when you come running out of the woods in fox form.
What time of day is it? Is it nighttime or evening?
It's after sunset, so nighttime.
Okay. So let's see. How can I turn into a human form?
Yeah, just a
I
sec.
just want to have the ears and the tail, and that's it.
It's about 6:30 p.m. at the moment. Sun's already set because it's like early spring.
Hmm.
Okay, so you want to transform. So I'd say that's still evening rather than night. So that costs 0. Ears and tail 0. Okay, so that doesn't cost you anything.
Okay, cool.
So you come running down out of the woods, pass briefly behind a tree, and come out the other side in your human form, but with your ears and tail.
Hello, Mr. Priest. Can you help me and my friends?
And it sort of appears at you with his milky cataract. Hina, is that you?
It is me.
Well, you have to speak up. I'm going a little deaf as well.
Kina starts yelling what she said.
Hey, your friends?
Yes, my friends.
I only ever normally see you around. What's the trouble?
We need to have the festival happen because if it doesn't, then everything could go really bad.
Festival and that fuss all the people in town make every year or so ruins my quiet.
I know. I just like getting the food is all.
You shouldn't take food that's offered for the spirits. Bad, Hina. Bad.
Sorry.
But so what do you need help with?
Oh, well, I just want to say hello mostly. But also, perhaps you can help us?
Okay. How?
Maybe you can point us to the mayor and like introduce us?
I don't like going down into town, but last time I went, now I'm going to need an NPC name for the mayor, which I hadn't anticipated because you're player characters and you never do what you're supposed to. Let's see. Mayor Hano Natsumi was mayor last time I was there.
Do you think he's still in charge?
She?
Oh, she. My bad.
Yeah, she was quite popular, very boring. Yeah.
You know, I have a hard time understanding human language sometimes because all the pronouns, it's weird. The names? I just have Hina.
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about. Anyway, yes. Yeah, Mayor Hano Natsumi. Yes, that's her.
Well, can you help us find her?
You want me to walk all the way down into town with all the hustle and bustle with my arthritis and my old bones, and night's closing in. It's going to be damp. I need to get a little fire going in the hut, tuck myself in, get a bit of sleep.
Well, maybe you have an attendant who can help me?
Yeah. All right, let's try and persuade him. He's a gruff old coot, but you can try to persuade him. Either he has some idea that you have some kind of spiritual vibe that he connects to, or you can use your simple, innocent childishness to convince him. So do you want your Henge or your child score?
My Henge.
Can I use my fuzzy power to make his adult go down to 0?
You'd have to use your appear out of nowhere power first because Hina went off by herself.
Oh, I thought we went with her. Oh,
Nope.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my Henge because it's the highest I have.
Okay, so you're going to need a total of 5.
Okay. I spend 5 wonder then.
Big feelings you need to spend.
Oh, I don't have 4. I only have 4 feelings.
Well,
not 5 feelings.
What's your Henge score?
4.
Okay, so you only need to spend 1 point of feelings.
Okay, cool. I spend one
Yep.
point of feelings.
All right. With much grumbling and annoyance, he finally concedes and decides to come with you. He fetches his walking staff from the hut and starts going along with you. However, he's very slow, so it's going to take you quite a while to catch up to the other two at the appointed meeting space at the edge of the town. Meanwhile, Miku and Garibo in their own scene. Neither of you get any points because you don't really know and aren't connected to each other yet. I think Hina can have a dream point for that scene, though.
Cool.
Yeah, so you two get ahead following a slightly different path. And as you're trotting along, who has the highest Henge out of you two?
Mine is 2.
A 1.
Okay. As you're sort of running along together through the woods, Miku suddenly gets a feeling. Her ears start to twitch. Her hackles rise. Her tail goes puffy Christmas tree like. And with your cat eyes through the branches and undergrowth of the trees, you can make out like a sort of shimmering veil, like a ripple in the air on the hillside.
So I'm going to hiss, but I'm not going to actually hiss because the noise reduction will stop it being picked up.
Okay, well, Garibo will notice you hiss.
Yeah.
What do you see, Miku?
Some kind of shimmery stuff. I don't like it.
Focus in on the direction that is indicated.
You squint and focus, and after a while you see it too. There's this kind of shimmering veil in the air and a shape like a sort of crack in the air itself. Looking through it, the forest you see on the other side of this shimmering veil looks wilder and less kept than the real forest does.
So investigate a little closer.
Okay. You creep a little closer. As you do, a little black knot of shadowy half substance, like smoke, forms a little sort of ball, falls through the veil and lands on your side. You hear a wicked giggling sound, and then turning itself into too many legs, but not the right number of legs for a spider or anything. This little black ball of shadow substance skitters off through the forest at high speed, heading down towards the town.
Miko,
Does
we
this
should chase
thing
it.
look like something we can eat?
You don't think so?
I'll chase it.
Yeah, let's chase it anyway. It's running fast. Let's chase it.
Okay. 1 second while I look up what I wrote for that. Where's it gone? Okay. So to catch it, you're going to need to beat an animal score of 2.
My animal score is 2.
Okay, so you can catch up to it, no problem.
And I've got a 3.
Okay, so no problem either. All right, so Garibo catches up to it first, unless Miku wants to spend points to outbid.
I'd quite like to pounce on it, but if it's already been pounced on.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, second. All right. I'm going to spend a couple of points to keep it ahead of you for a little while. So Miku drops a little bit further behind. Garibo manages to keep up with it most of the way. It dives off the path suddenly and drops down into a little drainage gully. If you follow it, you can leap down and catch it.
Oh, I'm going full speed.
Okay, so yeah, you leap down into the gully and land on top of the thing. It's like, yeah, it's frustrating. It's kind of gooey. It's like trying to punch cotton candy, but you manage to get your claws and stuff into it and hold it down. It struggles under you, trying to kind of shapeshift and twist and get out of the way. But then Miku catches up and joins you, jumping down and landing on the thing as well. So between you, you've got it held down.
Can I get my claws in it?
Yes. You can
Cool.
sort
I'm
of
a
pull
cat,
at some of
I
the
can torture it.
you pull at some of the substance of it. The fragments of shadow are pulled away from it and sort of evaporate like smoke into the air.
Does it make any noise?
It makes pain sounds, but continues to giggle in between its hisses of pain.
Well, this seems like a fun cat toy.
I growl at it and see if it kind of can understand cat language first.
It growls back at you.
Where did you come from?
Where did you go?
It's not Cotton Eye Joe. No. It doesn't answer you, but you get the impression it understands you. It just redoubles its efforts to struggle free.
Can I turn into human form so I'm bigger?
Yes, you can. Do you want to go full human, or do you want to retain your ears and tail?
Can I keep my claws as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, that's free then. All right. So, yeah, in a breath and a flash of moonlight, you've changed forms into your human form. Your cattail stuck straight out behind you, all poofy. Your ears back and your clawed fingers dug into this thing. The extra weight crushes it down under you.
You should probably tell him what he wants to know.
Okay, let's see. Intimidating it. That'll be another animal check needing 2, which you can both beat. However, I'm going to make it resist by spending 2 points to give it an animal rating of 4. So you need to equal or best 4 on your animal score.
I'll
How's
use
it
one
feel
more.
that comes from.
Sorry, you both spoke at the same time. One at a
Sorry,
I
time.
just need 1 point to get to a 4, so I'll use by 1 point.
Okay. So that's a point of feelings.
Yep.
Okay. I'll spend 2 points of feelings as well. So
Okay, so both of you sort of yowl and hiss and caterwaul at it. It shrinks beneath you, so you have to kind of shift your grip to keep hold of it. And then it says, I came across the veil.
What veil?
Between their land and our land. The lands you walk between, you little pet. And it hisses and sprouts spikes, but they don't really hurt. They just prickle like a stinging nettle.
I'll dig my claws in harder.
Okay, it squeals in pain.
Are there more of you?
Yes, many. And the town is ripe for us. So many places. So many nooks and crannies.
What do you want to do here?
Chaos.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with that.
Teach the humans to fear us again. To pay proper homage.
You want them to have the festival again?
No. The festival provides harmony. We want chaos.
Oh, you want to stop the festival?
Of course.
I'll dig my claws in even harder.
Okay. It dissipates into smoke under you. You think you killed it or discorporated it or something, but it's done. It just evaporates away under you, leaving a very thin coating of ash on everything.
I will look like a cat that's caught the laser dot, but the laser dot's not there anymore.
Yeah. Or the raccoon with the candy floss.
Yeah.
Have I made it back to everyone?
Well, this is a separate scene, so you've
Okay.
probably found out all you can. Do you want to say anything to each other to cap off that scene?
I just wanted to try to run back as quick as we could back to the original place where the veil was and see if it was gone or.
No, the opening's still there, and to your discerning cat vision, you think it looks slightly bigger, like it's continuing to fray at the edges.
Can we go through it?
Can I
That's
mark
a question for
side with
Garita,
E
not for...
so that I can come back and see if it, if it is indeed growing?
Curiosity did kill the cat, so
I'm going to go up and try and poke it.
okay. It resists you slightly. It feels to your hand like cling film over a box.
I don't think we can go through here.
Well, I don't think we should until we have, all of us together, or at least have someone that can, watch from this side.
And you are only half spirits, which perhaps explains why you can't pass through. All right. If no one wants to interject a scene here, the next scene will be you guys meeting up with each other and the old priest at the edge of the town. Okay.
Hey guys.
You missed
Well,
all
let
the
me-
fun. There's some weird thing, and we killed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it ran really fast, and we got to chase it, and then we tortured it for a bit, and then we killed it. It was great. It was brilliant fun.
What a noisy cat that is.
Don't worry, priest. That's my friend Miku. She's my big sister.
A cat is your sister?
Well, you don't think that we have parents, do you?
I would imagine you have parents. Most people do. Everyone, in fact, I think, has parents.
I don't know. I don't remember mine. I just remember existing and then playing, and that's it.
Well, if we're going to talk to the mayor, maybe we can get you adopted.
I don't know if I want to do that.
That's a responsible thing to do.
I'm going to have to go ahead and turn into human form too if we're going to go into the city.
Okay. Do you want to turn into full human form or half human form?
I'll go full human.
Okay, that will cost you 4 points. You can spend both feelings and wonder on that.
I guess it's going to be half human.
Okay, that costs you nothing. So you step briefly behind a tree and emerge from the other side in your half human form. Luckily, the priest is half blind, so he won't notice. Where are you kids' parents? All of you running around outside in the dark. It's very unseemly.
Hinko and I are friends. We've been friends for a while. I look out for her every now and then.
Yeah, feel like you're playing a trick on an old man. Anyway, we should get going. Otherwise, the mayor will have left the town hall, and we won't be able to see them.
Old priest, I'm a fox. Of course we're playing tricks.
You're a bit young to be calling yourself a fox.
Never mind. Do you not see the ears and the tail?
What?
Never
I
mind.
thought you were one of those, what do they call it? Cosplayers.
No.
Sure. You're a real fox. He taps the side of his nose and starts hobbling down the path towards the town. From up here in the hills, which are all sort of sculpted with rice paddies, though some of them are drained and overgrown now, you can see the whole town before you, the farms around the outskirts, the lights at the center of the town. You see a 2-car train coming into the station from this distance, and you can hear the slight hum of traffic. And with those of you who are still animals, which I think is just, well, you've all got your animal ears, so yeah, you can hear the
going to be an animal going into town, if that's okay. Being a cat might be useful.
Yeah, we can all hear the low, sort of distant hum of human conversation. The priest hobbles on ahead. So you pass by the. Did you remember to add your wonder and feelings, Hina and Miku, for this scene meeting up?
No, I will,
traveling in?
though.
Okay.
Oh, so we get another 2 points on each.
Yeah. So yeah, you follow the old priest as he hobbles his way down into town, past all the farms and the low walls, the occasional abandoned farm or country house or cottage. Here and there, the odd one or two have their lights on. A few dogs run to the walls and stand up and look over them and bark at you all as you go past. Right. And then eventually you cross the Hitasuna Bridge and down onto one of the main roads through the town. Across the level crossing as the train disappears into the distance, and eventually arrive at the Hitasuna Town Hall. It's a not particularly impressive building, quite old, sort of 19th century, sort of mock European style, with the kind of Romanesque columns and things. The old priest sort of tuts at it in annoyance and starts laboriously making his way up the steps.
Follow along.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, go with him.
So this is the town hall scene. So you two get your points again. Poor old Garibo doesn't, because he's not really connected to anybody, unfortunately. Right. Yeah, he gets up to the top. Some sort of doorman or receptionist type opens the door up for him, sort of grunts and hobbles in, and goes over to the actual reception desk. Yeah, me and these children, cosplayers, are here to see the mayor. Do you have an appointment? I'm old. I don't have time to make appointments. Well, I'll see if the mayor's still here and if she's got time to meet you. The receptionist turns away, picks up a phone, presses a button.
Being a cat, can I just slip past and try and find the mayor's office?
Yes, you can. The doorman sees you run inside and tries to catch you. So let me just see what you'll need to get away. Standard human townsfolk stats. It's not a god. He's not a priest. We've got the priest for that. Not a city person. Not a grumpy old man. Okay, a diligent person. Okay, right. You need to beat free to get away, you can either use your animal or your adult.
They're both 2, so I'll use a point of feelings to bring one of them up to 3.
Okay, you easily slip away from the doorman, who follows you up the stairs, but then loses track of you. You've got adult at least 1, don't you?
Yeah, adult 2.
Okay, so you can read. You follow the signs and eventually find the mayor's office. She seems to be working late. The door's cracked open, and you can hear her talking on the phone, and you can also hear another phone making occasional buzzing noises.
Okay, I would like to go and rub myself against her legs and purr and drop her adult down to 1.
Okay.
Down to 0 even.
Down to 0. Yeah.
So that uses wonder. Is that right?
Yeah, that uses wonder.
Okay.
You're playing Miku. So that's the cat power.
Fuzzy 4.
It's the fuzzy power, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that costs you 4 points of wonder. Okay. She almost immediately stops talking on the phone, says, I'll call you back. She puts the phone down, picks up the other phone and just puts it down again straight away, and then reaches down and starts petting you and rubbing your cheeks. Who's a cute little kitty? Who's a cute little kitty?
And while
Do you like
she's doing,
scritches?
can I turn into cat girl form?
You can, but that will surprise her.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the plan.
Okay. Right, so her adult has dropped to 0. What is your Henge score?
2.
Okay. Do you want to boost that at all? At 2, she will gasp, shout, or scream. If you bump it to 3, she'll run away. If you bump it to 4, she'll be shocked and paralyzed. And if you bump it to 5, she'll faint.
I need her to be shocked and paralyzed,
So 2 points of...
she'll still be able to hear me, right?
Yeah. So 2 points of feelings.
Yeah.
Or wonder, actually. I'll let you spend either on that.
Okay, so I'll spend 2 points of wonder on that.
Okay. So in a trice, in a sudden flash, as she's sort of rubbing your cheeks and scritching you behind the ears, poof! You're suddenly a full-grown cat girl. She stares, bug-eyed. Her mouth drops open, and she just sort of freezes with her hand still on your cheeks.
So I'm going to just rub myself against her hand, like having only just turned into a humanoid form. Like,
Yeah.
hey, don't stop the scritches.
Her hand, her fingers just very slightly move.
So, you're in charge here?
Meep.
My friends are downstairs. You need to speak to them.
Meep.
It's quite important.
Meep.
You, yes. You're the mayor?
She almost imperceptibly nods.
Why isn't there a festival this year?
Okay, she takes a moment and gathers herself and seems to sort of sink slightly into her chair. She pulls open the drawer in her desk and takes out a little hip flask of whiskey, pours herself a drink, downs it. The festival, I don't really. It's not really a function of government. It was always privately organized, so it wasn't really anything I did. She reaches out and tweaks your ear to check whether it's real.
But you're the most important human. You
What? Yes, I keep the roads prepared, the trains running, and do what I can for the people who live here. But the festival, it's always been kind of spontaneous, really.
but you need to keep the spirits happy too.
Well, I didn't think spirits were real. And again, she reaches out and touches your ear just to check.
I'll kind of push my head into her hand so that her hand's able to scratch behind my ear.
Yumi Aya always used to handle the festival. She was always the power behind organizing it.
Well, you need to speak to my friends too. Can you phone the desk downstairs and tell them to send my friends up?
Still somewhat numb, she turns, pours herself another drink, and then calls down to the reception. Okay. So the old priest and Hina and Garibo come up the stairs into the mayor's office, where a rather shocked and pale-looking mayor is sipping from a glass of whiskey. And Miku, in half-human form, is standing next to her.
Miko, you didn't do that on purpose, did you?
Do what?
Turn into a human in front of her.
The priest grumbled, "What's all this nonsense?"
This is the most important human, and she doesn't do the festival. She doesn't care about the spirits.
Well, who do we talk to then?
Well, she cares about the spirits now.
But for
You
how
say,
long?
as she's topping up her glass with more whiskey. Yes, spirits, quite. The old priest says, "Don't mind these kids. They're like cosplayers or something. We need to talk about an adoption scheme." No, wait, the festival. I'm here to talk about the festival. Why isn't the Harmony Festival going ahead? She's like, "Well, I was just talking to sorry, what's your name, Dread Spirit?"
Miku.
I was just talking to Miku here about that. It's not something we actually handle or do anything for. It's always been the private citizens that do that sort of thing. Yeah, we fill potholes, we repair the train lines, get the streets swept. The festival, it's just a little local festival, never a big important thing. So we didn't really organize it. I think Aya Ayumi used to. Sorry, Japanese, other way around. Ayumi Aya used to handle it. And I think Garibo has a connection to Ayumi Aya.
I believe so.
Just goes to show how stupid Kenge are, because he thought he remembered there's an important person and didn't remember.
Just easily distracted.
Yes.
Well, this is the most important human, so I think she should come and help us.
Yeah, I know. Is it Aya?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know the old woman. So I know who she speaks of. We can go to her ourselves.
Yeah, she used to put out milk for you and fresh fish.
Let's bring this human. They'll listen to her.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
come
we
with
did.
us.
Yeah. Well, I suppose she can take care of you for a while, and I can go back to my shrine and get some sleep.
I don't know. Maybe you can help us persuade people that we're spirits.
But you're
Yeah,
not
we-
spirits. I'm a priest. I'd know a spirit if I saw one.
Can I turn into my fox form in front of him?
You can, but he is half blind.
Okay, I'm gonna get up close to him and do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a cat at the same time, and hopefully he'll spot the difference in size between the two people and the two animals.
He rubs his eyes and peers and says, "Yeah, stop playing tricks on an old man." And he pours himself a glass of the mayor's whiskey.
He is familiar with spirits.
Yes. All right. So next, I suppose you're planning to visit Aya.
Yep.
And dragging two reluctant, somewhat shell-shocked humans with you. One of whom is the
Yep.
mayor.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the mayor who now believes in spirits.
Yes. Until she rationalizes it all away. Of course. All right. So new scene. Unless anyone wants to insert one, does anyone want to hand out any dreams?
I want to hand out a dream to Miku.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to hand out a dream to Hina.
Okay.
Okay. So
Also, can I hand out a dream to Garibo for figuring out the person that we need to talk to?
Oh yeah.
well, you can only hand out one at a time. So
Okay.
So
Okay, don't give me a dream. Give one to Garibo.
Okay, I'll give one to Garibo then.
okay. Right. So let's give Garibo an opportunity to make connections here because he's missing out on the feelings and wonders at the moment. So to make a connection to someone, you need a check of 4. Dreams are spent after you've made a connection in order to strengthen that connection. So actually, you're going to need to save up 5 dreams to make a connection
Okay.
and make a check. So yeah. So, but the opportunity may arise later. Okay. So you make your way down to Aya Ayumi's house. She was like the last person living on an old farm at the edge of town. But don't you also have a link to Hanako Ayumi?
Were you asking?
Garibo.
Oh,
Which person?
Hanako. Ayumi Hanako.
Hanako. Yes, rival. Yes.
Okay.
I've got a connection to town. Does that give me anything?
Yes. So that connection to town should have given you 2 feelings, I think. It's your connection.
Oh, I have.
I also have 2.
Yeah, so you all should have gained. Yeah, all should have gained 2 feelings for visiting town
Okay.
in that last scene. Sorry, I forgot you can have connections to places as well.
Is that in addition to what we gained for each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I am now at 11 wonder and 11 feelings.
Okay. And now we're starting a new scene, so you get the 2 each
13.
of each, and Garibo gets 4 of each for this scene. So 4 wonder, 4 feelings. Okay, so Garibo knows the way and sort of leads the rest of you there. It's a fair old walk out to the edge of town. The mayor is not wearing shoes suited to country pathways, so she ends up hobbling a bit, or taking off her shoes and walking barefoot as you approach the old Ayumi farm. So it's the old farmhouse set a bit further back. That's dark. There's no lights on there. But the little sort of cottage that Halpers and so on used to live in back when the farm was more active, that does have lights on.
Should we head towards where the lights are?
Yep.
Okay. You can hear television noise playing in the background. The light is turned soft and diffuse by the sliding paper walls and so on inside. You can smell something cooking on a stove, and there's a vague shadow moving around inside.
Oh,
I'll go up and knock on the door.
Okay. After a couple of moments, the door opens, and there is standing Yumi Hanako. Woman in her late 20s, you think. She's got smudges of paint on her fingers and on like a painter's smock, and a smudge of bright green across her nose. Her hair is a bit wild, and there's a paintbrush stuck through a messy bun on the back of her head. You seem to have interrupted her in the middle of something. She looks annoyed, frustrated, a little bit angry, perhaps, when she opens the door and seems surprised to see the mayor and an old priest and a gang of kids. Or animals, as the case may be. Hello?
Oh, hey, that smells like good food. Can we come and have some?
I see you've made yourself at home in my cottage.
Who are any of you apart from you, ma'am? And she bows low to the mayor, who bows slightly in return.
Oh, I thought we knew each other. I thought we had a right. Isn't this the?
Yeah, but she knows you as a cat.
Oh. Okay.
Gun on the side, Mayor. I had no idea you were going to visit, and in such interesting company.
Could I push past and like try and get to the kitchen? Start helping myself to food.
Yeah, she's too confused and stunned by this strange array of people on her doorstep. So you just you walk on in and help yourself to a bowl of hot pot that was cooking on the little stove. I guess you'd better come in. It's night after all. She turns off the television and fusses around in one of the other rooms of the small cottage, while you make yourselves home in the kitchen.
When I moved past her, I whispered to her that it's me, Garibo.
Who?
Maybe you should say it as like meow 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 meow, and she'll understand.
So she's not one of. Okay, because now I'm a little confused out of character.
No, she's just a normal human person.
Okay,
you've run into a few times. You used to come by this farm a lot before you went away to the city, and then you used to make yourself at home in this little cottage. But she's moved in and made it her own, which is why you're kind of rivals over the cottage.
Okay, all right, I got it. Okay, I thought we were like literal, like human, right? Like,
No.
Or she was one of us. Okay, all right. No. Okay, sorry.
You're rivals in the sense that this used to be one of your favorite hiding holes and places to stay. And she's moved in and disrupted all of that.
Okay, then I don't whisper. Yeah, if I know she's not going to know my name, then I won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
The priest helps himself to some hot pot as well. The mayor takes a nip from a hip flask. Everyone crowds into this tiny kitchen. And the mayor says, I think it's best if the children explain, so that the games master isn't just talking to himself.
Oh yeah, so you're meant to be doing this festival. This person who's supposed to be the most important human, they said that you're the most important human as far as the festival is concerned, which doesn't make any sense because they're the most important human. So why aren't you doing the festival?
Well, that was more of my grandmother's thing.
Well, why isn't your grandmother doing the festival?
She visibly winces and then says, "Well, my grandmother died this winter. That's why I came out here to handle everything."
But we need the festival. It's important.
Well, I don't know anything about the festival. Like I say, my grandmother's the one that handled it all, but I just can't deal with the house.
We can help with the house. Right, Miku? Right, Garibo?
Will there be more of this delicious hot pot?
She sighs. If you help with the house, you can eat as much as you like.
Deal.
And
I'll
you'll
go
work
and
on the
have myself
festival.
Even more of the hot pot.
Well, I don't know anything about the festival, but I suppose if we can get the house out the way, maybe I'll find something there about the festival and we can do something about it.
Ask the priest. He stays outside of town, but he hears everything going on. He says it's really loud. That may be willing to give you some direction.
Huh? Well, I suppose I can help if I can remember all the things about it that annoyed me.
Beardy Ben's comment, and that's how you get a cat.
Yeah. Beat it.
Pretty much. So with a mouthful of hot pot, I'm gonna say yeah. So you know
Noodle flies off.
this person does. What do you say? Roads and all that sort of stuff. They can probably help with the festival too. They're important. They know stuff.
Well, it's not really in the budget.
Did your grandmother have any of the, I don't know, like decorations and things from the festival? Here at the house?
She stored a lot of the things. I remember them from when I visited as a child, but I haven't really been to the house. It's been empty since winter.
Maybe your grandmother had some friends you can talk to who she worked with the festival on?
Well, all that information, unless we go door to door talking to everyone, it'll all be in the house. So the sooner you start fixing it up, the better.
Okay. And Hina goes and grabs a broom and starts trying to broom it. Yeah.
Oh, I like the idea of going door to door. Maybe someone else is having dinner as well. We can go in and get some food.
I want to talk to the mayor. I asked the mayor, Miss Mayor, if we find people to get the decorations and put them up and stuff, could you just at least make an announcement that there will be a festival in 2 days?
I suppose I can do that. Yes.
Okay.
Can you do that every year?
Will you leave me alone if I do?
Sure, but you're important. You can tell people there's a festival, and then there'll be a festival, even if
I will put it officially into the town's calendar for every year going forward. I'll make an announcement. Okay.
Well, I would like to search for the festival decorations and stuff then.
Okay, so investigating the house will be a new scene. The priest and the mayor will stay to talk with Hanako. Do you want to insert any other extra scenes, or are you happy to move on to the house?
Does anyone else want to?
don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anyone want a dream point?
I'll take one.
Okay.
Although Gariba probably has less than we do.
You've got to deserve it. So what did any of you do to deserve a dream point?
I ate lots of food.
I swept.
Yeah, that was helpful. Hina's
probably the one that did the most to deserve a point. So
Okay.
give Hina a dream point. All right. So new scene. The grandmother's house. So I think Miku and Hina get 4 points each because that's 2 each from each other. No, hang on. So it'd be 2 in each. But so does Garibo.
Do we get anything for it being in the town?
It's outside the center of the town.
Okay.
So no.
So we both get 2 wonders and
2
feelings.
wonder, 2 feelings. Everyone gets 2 wonder and 2 feelings.
Awesome.
Okay. So you walk up the path from the cottage. The garden's a bit overgrown. There's a few sort of gardening tools here and there, just sort of left out, starting to rust. The house itself is closed up, but Hinata runs after you and gives you the house keys before she returns to make sure the priest doesn't eat her out of house and home. It rapidly gets darker as you move away from the little cottage, and until it gets very dark when you get close to the farmhouse itself. Farmhouse is sort of 2 levels in a much older Japanese sort of style. It looks like it hasn't been maintained for longer than just 3 months or so since the grandmother died. The paint's peeling a bit, the wood needs some attention, but it is all locked up tight. Fortunately, your animal sight lets you see through the darkness.
What we need now is Mr. Miyagi.
I guess we'll unlock the house and get to searching it, see if we can find decorations and stuff that would have been for the festival.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 second, because I'm not prepared enough, and I don't have a floor plan for a house. That'll do. That'll do, pig.
Now you need to run an English-style game of Golden Sky Stories with pigs and sheep and wolves and foxes.
I'm David Cameron.
Yeah. That'd be an altogether more adult sort of game.
Maybe a tabletop-less one.
All right. You unlock the door, and a pair of double doors open outwards. Inside, there's some stone flooring with some wooden decking around the outside of it. And another door on the far side leads further into the house. It's dark inside, but there is a light switch should you want to turn the lights on. And there is a thin layer of dust over just about everything. A pair of muddy gumboots are set to one side with some other shoes in a pile. The mud has long since dried and started to crumble away on the boots.
I don't think we need to turn the lights on unless we have humans with us.
No, you can probably manage without.
Do we want to?
Might as well put the lights on. We might see better.
Okay.
All right. You click the lights on. The light flares up, taking a moment to reach full brightness because it's one of those energy-saving bulbs, but the slightly older ones. Bathes everything in a yellowy light that gradually turns brighter. With the light on, things look even more kind of neglected, dusty. There's some cobwebs up in the corners. Clearly, the poor old lady wasn't able to look after the place as well as she wanted to for a while before she died.
Is there a broom anywhere?
Yes, there's a couple of brooms. Plus, I think Hina brought a broom with her.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll grab a broom and start sweeping up. Try and brush the cobwebs out the corners with it.
Yeah, you're able to reach up and bring down the cobwebs, sort of winding them around the broom, and pull them off and toss them outside. You're able to, pretty easily tidy up this first little room. You doing anything with the shoes?
Go and bang them on wall or the ground outside just to get the mud off of them.
Okay. So as Miku goes over to the shoes and reaches down to grab the boots, one of the shoes, a sandal made of coiled rope, I forget what they're called, but they're a very old-fashioned style of Japanese shoe, suddenly sprouts little arms and legs and jumps up, surprising you, opening one eye and a little mouth and hissing angrily at you. Right, so that has
Getting
buggeration. Right. What is your henge?
2.
And what's your adult?
2.
Right. So I am spending 2 points of wonder for it to surprise and startle you. So unless you spend a point of wonder or feelings, it will surprise you.
I'll spend a point of feelings.
Okay. Despite it essentially suddenly transforming in front of you and leaping up and saying, "Boo!" you are unstartled.
Okay, can I pounce on it? To
You
the
can.
extent that human form can pounce.
Yes. Make child check, actually, I think.
Not animal? I mean, they're all the same. I've got 2 in everything, so...
Well, okay, well, 2 then. 1 second, I need to check its stats. So you need to beat 2 unless I spend some points. And I'm going to spend 2 points, so you need to beat 4.
Yeah, I'll spend 2 points of feelings on that.
Okay. So when you're not shocked and surprised, it is shocked and surprised that you're not shocked and surprised and tries to swiftly run away. But you pounce on it and grab onto it. It flexes back and forth in your hands and struggles.
What are you doing here? Why are you trying to scare me? I did my claws into it.
Okay, it squeaks in pain and just jabbers at you. What are you two doing while Miku is fighting a shoe?
Well, I wanted to head further into the house and look for a closet or an attic or basement or somewhere I think that the stuff was.
I helped Gariba with this.
So I would have not been in the room, yeah.
Okay, so you two have passed on out. I'll deal with the shoe, and then I'll come to you two. All right, so you're still struggling and fighting with the shoe.
Well, the plan was always to take the shoe outside and bang it on the ground, so
You're going to do that.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'll
you two hear
some... it while I'm doing it.
So you two hear some loud banging outside, like someone beating an old shoe or something to knock the mud off. You're right. You've beaten this shoe unconscious outside. It just kind of goes limp in your hands with its arms and legs dangling and a little X on its eye. All right. So meanwhile, inside, you two pass on deeper. Okay, so in here, there's a big long room, sort of divided into 2, with a big open archway between this section and a similarly sized section. That other section has a low dining table and cushions sat around it, and the table is absolutely groaning with all kinds of dirty dishes and household things. Bits and pieces like that. This room is lined with tatami mats. There is another double sliding door on the opposite side. There's an old black and white TV, CRT TV. It's propped up in one corner. A bunch of books in stacks or bookshelves all around the place. and a big old radio next to the TV.
Well, I'll continue through to the next room since I don't see any kind of storage area.
I go and play with the radio.
What's your adult score?
My adult score is 0.
Okay. You have no idea how radios work, so you twiddle the wrong dials and can't get it to do anything. So you end up just kind of knocking it over in frustration. So meanwhile, Garibo moves through to the dining room. So yeah, there's the old pillows, which are now kind of a bit stiff and dusty. There's a set of double doors on your right-hand side, another set of double doors ahead. There's a bunch of photos mounted on the walls of all kinds of like family pictures. You think you recognize Hanako in a few of the pictures.
Okay. I'll go to the set of doors that's straight across, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So sliding them open, there's a kitchen in here. Cozy, sort of old-fashioned style, 1950s fixtures, all quite low to the ground. Mounds of dirty dishes. And there's old clothing hanging up, which has gotten stiff and dusty as well. Probably kept in here so the stove could help dry them out.
No obvious storage place here.
There's some kitchen cupboards, but they just seem to have more pots and pans and things in them.
Then I'll go back out and go through the other doors.
Okay. So you other two have finished fiddling with the radio and beating the shoes to death.
Yes.
I'm going to go and drop the shoe at the feet of the humans.
They're having some kind of in-depth discussion about boring grown-up government stuff. So thank you
I'll
for the
walk
shoe.
in with it in my mouth, even though I'm semi-human. Drop it at their feet and just walk off.
And then catch up with the others. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep the group together. All right. So you all meet back up in the dining room with the heaps of trash in here. No, we'll wait for that. Okay. So now what? You have to speak human or I can't understand you.
Go through the doors that don't lead to the kitchen.
Okay, that leads you out into a wooden decked hallway. The wood's slightly buckled, but it mostly seems okay. There's a small door to your left, and the hallway carries on past two sets of double doors either side to a T-junction at the far end.
Start with the first door, I guess.
Okay, so you turn around, push it open. Peeking inside, this seems to be a toilet. Humans go in these special chairs that they have made. It's all very confusing. They wipe themselves with paper instead of leaves or field mice.
They don't even use the 3 seashells.
But that's all there is in here.
So weird.
Head down to the T.
All right, so you pass by the other doors. You think the set on the right lead back through into the main sort of living room. The set on the left seem to lead through to a back garden, which even through the paper you can tell is overgrown and starting to intrude on the house. At the T-junction, there is a right-hand turn past another set of double doors to another small door like the toilet door. And to the left, it ends in a dead end, but either side of the hallway are 2 more sets of double doors.
I open the double doors.
Which one? The one
The ones
to
on
the
the
right. Okay.
No,
So
actually,
you-
the ones on the left. Ones on the left.
Okay. You turn left instead, spinning around in circles, making yourself dizzy, and march on up. So there's a set to the left, a set to the right. You open up the ones to the left. Just outside, there's more wooden decking around the outside of the house and an overgrown little home garden with various herbs and vegetables, horribly overgrown and rife with weeds.
Any catnip?
I'm going to pluck the weeds.
There is some catnip.
I am going to roll in it.
And Garibo?
I'll go check the door on the right.
Okay, so while they start picking at the garden or rolling around in it, you open the door to the right. Okay, it opens up into a pretty spacious bedroom, or it would be spacious if it wasn't packed with bundles of clothing, knickknacks, that sort of thing. What's your adult rating?
3.
Spend a point and you'll see some of the decorations in here.
I will spend a point.
Okay, that'd be from feelings. Okay, so next
Girl,
to the
what I'm looking for.
next to the futon, there's a couple of big bags and boxes and cases overflowing with decorations and scrolls and paper lanterns and things that all seem to be something to do with the festival.
Start to gather them up and call for the girls to come help me.
Are you going to help?
Yeah, I'll come along. My pupils are going to be absolutely huge.
Okay.
I also stop picking up the weeds and throwing them and just come inside.
All right. So as Garibo walks across the futon and starts gathering up the things, and as you two enter the room from the other side, the futon bucks, shifts, the mattress part rolls up and tries to snake around Garibo like an anaconda and throttle him. What is your adult?
3.
Okay, so I will spend points. You're going to need to spend 1 feelings to escape its grasp.
Can I use my menace power?
Which power?
Menace?
Yeah, let me have a look. Okay, so you'll need to spend 8 wonder points to activate that.
Oh.
Can I rub and purr against it to drop its adult down to 0?
You could by spending 4 wonder points.
Yeah, let's
All
do
right, I
that.
got it, 80.
I'm high as shit, so it probably seems like a
Hang
good
on, sorry.
idea.
So was Garibo spending the points to be menacing?
Yeah, I've got 8 exactly.
Okay.
Why not?
So, okay, so yeah, it does manage to wrap around you and starts to squeeze you, squeezing the breath out of you. You make a squeak sound like a feline accordion, and then Miku, high as shit on catnip, comes sort of half stumbling inside, and for some reason, known only to her, decides that rubbing and purring against an animated futon is the best way to deal with it. This confuses the animated futon a great deal, at which point Garibo is able to shove with its hands, wriggle his way free, and hiss and snarl and caterwaul and do that horrible angry cat noise at the thing. Already caught off guard by being rubbed by one kitty, it takes fright. It drops Garibo, curls up into a spring shape, and then leaps up, smashing through the boards on the ceiling into the upstairs. And you hear it crawling away like an inchworm up there, going eep, 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 eep. What are your Henge scores?
My Henge score is 4.
Okay. The shoe and now the futon. These are Tsukagami.
Guys, these are Tsukagami.
Does anyone know what a Tsukagami is, or do I have to explain?
I do not know. I imagine they're basically spirits of objects or something like that.
Yeah. So when an object is neglected, its spirit might come alive in a vengeful way. So Tsukagami are... It's like when an object becomes possessed by a spirit because people haven't been looking after it. Now, normally this takes a very long time, but these things have only been neglected for maybe 3 months, and they're already being possessed by Tsukagami, which is weird and odd.
Can we like satiate the spirits by looking after them and rubbing ourselves against them?
By repairing them, cleaning them, that sort of thing, showing them that they're worth something. That is the way you prevent them turning into Tsukagami. But normally, as I say, this takes a really long time. You've probably
once
seen...
we've turned into them, can you turn them back again? Or?
Yes. I mean, beating the shoe to death turned it back into a shoe, pretty much. Or the other way is to repair the items. But you'll have to approach them with humility and do your best. You may be aware of these because sometimes they're popularly shown in anime and manga and stuff, like the paper lanterns with the lolling tongue hanging out, or the umbrella with the foot and the single eye. Those are very common Tsukagami found in various shows and things.
We need to go clean them.
So, well, if you want to clean the house top to bottom, because you're magical creatures, I'll let you do it in a single night. But that will still be adult tests.
Uh-oh.
Totaling. You're going to need to spend a grand total of 18. Well, you're going to need to meet a difficulty of a grand total of 18 between you to do it.
What's everyone's adult scores?
Mine's 0.
Yeah, I've got a 3, but I mean, we've only got 2 nights to get to this festival set up and stuff. I mean,
okay, so we need an extra. We need an extra 8 points of
adult.
Of
well,
adult.
What's your adult score?
Mine is 2.
Okay. So
I
yeah,
can
you need.
spend 8 of my 15 wonder or something to help.
Well, you need a total of 13 feelings to spend to complete the tidy up in time.
I've got
I'll
10
spend 13
feelings.
wonder.
Unless you want to try and rope. Well, Hinata won't do it. The mayor probably won't do it, but the old priest could help you.
Okay, I'll get the old priest to help.
All right, you drag him away from his hot pot. He contributes 3 more adult. So between you need to spend 10 feelings to get this place.
Well,
Okay,
I have 10 feelings, so I could just spend all of them.
Okay. I mean, I have 15. I can spend 10 and you have 5 left
what?
over.
Why don't you each spend 5?
Okay.
Good plan.
And let Grebo keep his points.
yeah, I don't have very many for.
I'm going to need to go AFK for a minute. This is going to go on for a while longer.
Well, you've dealt with things faster than I thought, but we could take a break for 10 minutes if people want. We're nearly at 2 hours.
Okay.
Is that all right with everyone?
Yeah.
All right. Viewers, we will be back in 10 minutes or so for what will probably be the finale. So I will see you then. Hopefully everyone's back.
Yep.
Yep.
Just waiting on Simon. We'll give him a minute. Let's have a look at the comments. This confuses the animated futon a great deal. It's exactly the kind of nonsense that I enjoy in roleplay. Yes, quite right. It's up there with Dread Gazebo. Little potted story on the Sukugami. It's a story to tell your kids to make sure they clean up and stop people from just hoarding. Neglect your stuff or just stack it up too long and you get hauntings. I love the designs of the Sukugami though. They're just really cool.
It'd be really cool if they were real.
See if I can find a good picture of some.
Sorry, I'm a minute or two late back.
That's fine. All right. So, bring up my window again. All right. So, after a long night's work, you have the house clean, kind of crudely repaired. You've given everything the bare minimum of attention. The old priest has now been up all night, so he just kind of falls asleep on the tatami mats in the living room, snoring horribly. You're all pretty tired, but you're supernatural creatures. It's transforming is more difficult in the day, so you're probably going to be somewhat stuck in the forms you're in for the time being. But you have got it all done, and you've recovered all the necessary decorations and scrolls and so on. The mayor has vanished at some point in the night, but hopefully she will announce the festival so it can still go ahead.
I wonder if she got taken to the dark place.
So, any scenes you want to insert, or what do you want your next scene to be?
I was going to try to see if we could recruit some other, maybe go back to Io in the forest and see if she could recruit other of us to put the decorations up and stuff so we can, and then tell her about the veil.
Yep. Okay.
And then we can get some sleep.
Yes. During the day. All right. So with your work done in the house, leaving the priest behind, you load up the decorations into a wheelbarrow or some sacks that you can carry, and make your way laboriously up from the town, up into the hills, and back to Eiko, the wise fox. All right. So gain.
Well,
Sorry, what was that?
I bring a load of catnip as well.
Yes. Okay, so gain your appropriate wonder and feelings for a new scene, and Eiko is there, so Garibo gets points.
Oh.
So 2 wonder, 2 feelings. You pile all the stuff outside of Eiko's dray and make your way down inside. She turns when she realizes that you're there and swishes her many tails. Well, what did you discover?
Well, quite a bit, actually. It seems that the human that used to promote the festival and get it all together has passed away. But we did recover a lot of the decorations and things. And we also persuaded the mayor, who is the most powerful person in the city, to make an announcement that there will be a festival. Unfortunately, we also discovered some strange tear or rip or something hole in between our world and another world where some strange shadow creatures are coming out.
We found this amazing plant too. Smell this.
It's slightly minty.
You mean it's not doing anything for you? And I'll just sniff it like a massive inhale.
Are foxes affected by catnip? Foxes are. Okay, so she goes, yeah, that's amazing. And you see her pupils grow much bigger. Where did you find this miraculous plant?
Oh, you can't have it. It's mine.
Oh, just a little bit. Please.
No, you can smell it, but this is mine.
All right, she takes another deep half of the catnip. Well, are we talking about something important? I can't remember. Festival. You found.
And shadow people.
Yes, that you said there's something like a veil out in the forest.
It's broken.
Oh,
Can
it's
you
like a
show me?
hole between two worlds.
What, can you show me?
Yes, we marked it.
Okay. So she
yeah,
comes out with you.
You'll love this. You get like things run out of there, and you can kill them.
Oh, well, that sounds fun. All right. So she follows you all, probably holding hands with a couple of you, out through the forest until you arrive where the rippling veil is. It doesn't seem so powerful during the day, but it does seem bigger than you remember seeing it last night. She is powerful enough and
Well, I marked it
knowledgeable
with
enough.
both edges of my P. So I mean, can I check and see how much bigger it's gotten?
About a quarter again as big as it was.
Ooh.
Well, the lack of a festival, the weakness in the closeness between our people and the humans seems to be opening a rift to the place where darker spirits and Oni come through and infest the world. Did you run into any bad spirits anywhere apart from just here? You said something came through?
Oh yeah, there was some kind of spidery thing, but it's okay. We pounced on it. We killed it.
Was there anything else?
I killed the shoe.
Yeah, Sukugami are around. You need to help them.
I killed the shoe and I gave it to the humans.
A possessed shoe. A Bakazori. Yes. And where was that?
It was in a friend of mine's old house that has passed away.
The old woman that used to run the festival, you said.
Yes.
Strange. They don't normally come about so quickly. But if this veil is torn and dark spirits are making their way through, perhaps they're possessing things more quickly. Well, the festival should put an end to this, but we should keep an eye on it.
Okay, let's do that.
Right. So you wanted to recruit a whole bunch of other local henge to put the decorations and stuff up?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's in everyone's interest.
Can we
So
have like a
what was
henge parade as well?
Yes, you could. Persuading them is not going to be.
Sorry.
That's a. Persuading them is not going to be difficult at all. So, montage of you guys running around everywhere, talking to various animals and spirits and trying not to fall asleep while you're doing it. And then you fall asleep in a pile in Aiko's little den, while the animals scurry about, putting up all the decorations and things. So the night of the festival arrives. Rested again, you join the rest of your people in their various animal, human, and half-human forms. Thanks to all your efforts and the pronouncement of the mayor, the whole town turns out, sees the parade, though most of them think you're probably just dressing up in costumes. Someone found some fireworks from somewhere, and they're set off. Paper lanterns are lit. It's a wonderful, fun night, and the various offering places are groaning with food and other offerings for all the local Henge yokai. The old woman is also venerated. Hanata brings out her grandmother's photograph, and it's given pride of place in the parade and the festival, and much incense is burnt in front of it. When you return to the forest later, the veil has shrunk to a tiny little crack between the worlds. And while it will need to be monitored, so long as the festival is kept up, it should be kept closed. Does anyone want to do any ending scenes? Otherwise, I realize that's an abrupt end after we come back from our break, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know what to have a scene about. So I guess that's the end.
Yeah.
I've got enough points to peek into someone's heart, so I want to peek into the heart of the mayor and see if she believes in the spirits. And
yeah, in her heart of hearts, she now believes in the Henge, but it's buried down below duty and wanting to be seen as a serious politician and everything. But you've definitely awakened some sort of spiritual side in her.
I'm going to float through the sky at walking speed and see if more people can believe in spirits again.
so we're
So
going to scare out people now.
At the end of the festival, yeah, you walk through the sky. A few children who are looking up at the last of the fireworks catch glimpses of you, and you awaken a warm spiritual belief in these innocent young babes. All right. Well, I'm afraid that is pretty much it, because you went about things in a completely different way to what I was expecting.
What were you expecting us to do with it?
To be more circuitous about finding out who was in charge and those sorts of things. But you kind of went straight for it. I don't think it's a game that is particularly suited to very long games anyway. I think it would be good for convention slots and pickup games, because making a character apart from writing out the powers is pretty easy. This is definitely a narrative story game, which is different to what we normally play here, and it's diceless, which is different to what we normally play here. But for this style of game, where you're kind of like children and cozy spirits and things, and fighting isn't that important, I think that works okay. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I've never played it. I've only seen people play it online, and I'm like, oh, this is really fun. But yeah, I don't think it'd work well for more than like a couple sessions of a campaign, like just like little episodic playing.
I
Maybe
mean,
like 3 or 5 sessions, and then just move on to another game.
Say before we
Yeah,
started,
I've never played a diceless game before, so I'm just curious about that aspect of it. So it seems a little like with the surprise thing, like if you could just keep adding point, like whoever's going to run out of points last.
Yeah,
It's a little
I mean,
weird.
I had a budget of points. It gives you the Games Master a budget of points to spend as well. So I was spending now and again.
I liked his idea about changing the setting, though. I could see doing like, you could almost do like Southern Gothic horror and do a coal mine city, something near a coal mine with bears and wolves if you wanted in the United States, or you could do, I think you could probably do other animals in other parts of the world and change the theme of it.
Well, there is like an English countryside type one supplement.
Yeah, and there's a fantasy one as well, and there's some supplements for the more normal one. It does look like hard copy is still available. Leisure Games has it for £16 here in the UK. You can get the PDFs on drive-through.
You can also, I think, get the print copies on what's it called? Indie Press Revolution in America.
Oh, maybe.
That's
Yeah,
where
I mean,
saw
I would say, like, coming at it as someone who fucking hates Studio Ghibli, it's terrible. It's still a fun game. Like, if you just come at it from, like, what kind of animal is your character and play along with what happens in the game, it's good for people even if they're not into that sort of setting.
Yeah, this is the same people that published Made, by the way. This was a lot more wholesome.
Yeah, I mean, the only anime that I really enjoy involves tentacles, so...
But yeah, that worked okay. I think it's a lot of the time, like Diceless Systems, it's way too set, but because this is so narrative focused, and it's meant to be just kind of cozy, heartwarming stories, that worked fine. And we did manage the violence that we did include quite well, I think. All right. Well, thanks for playing. I don't know if T-Shirt will be back running anything next week or not. We'll find out. Otherwise, I will make plans for what to play next week. If you're watching on YouTube, the channel is monetized now for memberships and super chats, so we might try and incorporate that into the games a bit more in the future. To get to the next level of monetization, I need more watch time. So if you feel so inclined, go and watch some others of the live streams that we've done. Otherwise, see you next week.
The super chats could be something similar to like Tabletopless or something where you can influence the game.
Yeah, let the people who are watching screw things up for the players, or help them out if they screw up. But yeah, something like that. I will figure something out. All right. Night all. Thanks for watching.
Night everyone.
Thanks for the
Good
game.
afternoon. Bye.